Storytelling, where to begin? So much to talk about and so much to discuss. Wait, that's the same thing. Whatever, I've come today to talk about how the industry of storytelling has fallen in this day and age. From reboots to failures such as Avengers, Endgame, or to the addiction that is an implore. Storytelling, like everything else, has essentially become a fad where people want to tell their own stories, tell their own spin-offs, tell their own what-ifs, and so on. The bar has gotten so low because people have lowered their expectations due to constant failure from the entertainment industry itself, rather than pushing for better. People are tired. They are tired of the same crap over and over again. It's a vicious cycle, honestly. A reboot comes, it showcases a poor respect to the established or original material. People get mad about it. The reboot actually comes out, people look at it, they calm down, and say, well, you know, it's honestly not that bad. They praise it for the one good thing, the one single good thing it does. New reboot comes, it's worse than the previous reboot. People look at the previous one in a retrospective. This applies to many things, and this is the kind of attitude that has brought quality down. Movies these days consist of constant references, constant trendy fads, and probably the crappiest humor that relies on those fads ampersand references. It's sad, it's pathetic, it's disgraceful, it's wrong. Storytelling should only ever be that, to tell a story. It shouldn't be trying to push some political agenda. It shouldn't be some way of inserting all of your frustrations and angers against the world. It should be you, the paper, and a story. Today I've decided to use Velma as an example. I've seen enough clips and trailers to know that what they've done is disgrace the material that came before it, completely uproot the structure that was given, and call itself something progressive, when in reality it's a mere showcasing of a particular individual who self-inserted themselves and their regressive and self-destructing attitude. Velma is about a show where the supposed origins of the Scooby-Doo gang came from. Usually when origins series come out, they fail due to obvious reasons, but in this particular case, it failed because it wasn't even Scooby-Doo nor had the Scooby-Doo spirit. It takes place in high school and shows supposedly how the gang to be. Rather than actually giving us the characters we know and love, we've been given a butchering of the show. Fred is a completely mentally disabled man who is obnoxious and constantly ridiculed for being white ampersand rich. Shaggy excuse me, Norville is now a black man who's a complete simp for Velma and has zero qualities or characteristics that Shaggy had. Daphne is a half-Asian lesbian who is basically a basic character. And then there's Velma, the main character of this show, which, by the way, Velma never made the gang. That is wrong and not respectful to the lore. That being said, let's talk about Velma. Velma isn't the character who happens to now be Indian, or a lesbian. Rather, like the rest of the characters, she is the horrible, narcissistic, self-absorbed bitch of an Indian lustful lesbian. She is the incarnation of people who think by bullying they are being brave and stunning, because this supposed character is now arrogant, rude, disrespectful, sexist, and toxic as hell. I know, you probably already thought by now, but what about this bad Scooby-Doo thingamajiggy wooey? What's it? Well, we're not talking about the millions of other bad takes on Scooby-Doo, we're talking about the worst on yet. Velma, in the original series of Scooby-Doo, was not arrogant, she was not rude, she was smart, sometimes sassy, but generally kind and cared for her friends. She never attacked her friends like she does in Velma. She never once shows any qualities like she did in the original show. In the original show, she was the brains of the group. In Velma, she's just a bitch. She even says, and I quote, "It's like adults who still watch cartoons," which is a direct attack and pushing the narrative that cartoons are for kids. Which is not only wrong but also messed up. People who do not understand storytelling don't understand that cartoons are merely kids only. This brings me to the next point. Mindy Kailing. She is the sole reason that this show exists, the way it's written, and she is everything wrong with the storytelling industry. Mindy Kaling should be blacklisted from everything related to entertainment, for she merely wants to argue with people and conform them into her views. Her views, which by the way, as Velma has proven, is nothing short of narcissistic and mean-spirited. Instead, she believes everything she says is truth while also attacking people for being white or male, generally speaking. Velma is about a show where an bothered actor self-inserts herself into a character, thinking herself brave, when in reality she's an entitled little brat who's mad cause things didn't go her way, hating the world around her as she self-wallowed in her own pain. It's sad and pathetic, a disgrace to storytelling, and should be banned from everywhere to view. It is a mockery to real storytelling. In the real Scooby-Doo, the gang were actual friends, they cared for each other. In Velma, the only actual entitled bitch is Velma, or should I really say Mindy Kaling.